I mean, if you're a strong, independent woman, you should be able to stand on those strong, independent legs.
Yo, why don't men realize that decentering men and becoming a feminist is actually like good for them if they're good guys? I don't get it. Like, bro, it means that the women that want to be with you because you're a good guy and they genuinely like you. My dog is going crazy. And not because they feel like they need someone in their life. Is that not what you want? Like, imagine someone loving themselves greatly, having a fulfilling, great, beautiful life full of love, abundance, money, and then they go, holy this dude right here, I want him. Not I need him. Not I need him, I want him. I want this dude. And you're offended, why? Why?
A dude in the comments said, as a former feminist, now egalitarian, I disagree. Being a feminist has worsened my mental state because I put myself around people who hated me for being a man and belittled my issues and my feelings, especially when it included another woman, because it didn't fit into their worldview of men being privileged and not having to deal with anything, while also simultaneously terrorizing the world. And now he has feminists victim blaming me for my mental state out of their own stubbornness. Exactly. Accountability. This is a trash movement.
The fact that men outside of my family didn't have to show me how ancient men are, and it was actually the men in my family that did. Disgusting. And I'm not talking about immediate family like my dad or whatever, but like my cousins. The stuff that I know about them, mind you, they're married. And I anonymously like messaged like their wives about the stuff that I would find out, because I didn't want my name to be dragged in the drama or whatever. I just didn't know how like my aunt or whatever would react to it. But yeah, like the fact that it was them that showed me men are crazy and the way that they think, oh, man, I'm sick to my stomach.
So because a couple of your cousins in your family were acting like they didn't have any sense, now you're saying that all men must act like this. Do y'all be listening to what y'all say? Do y'all be hearing the conclusions that y'all come up with? Have you ever thought that maybe they just wanted to engage with the content? Why don't you just leave people alone?
I'm a girl's girl. I'll forever be a girl's girl, but male-centered women are so tiring, so tiring. So I just saw a video of a guy post saying, if you look beautiful without makeup and eyelashes and weaves and blah, 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 post your pictures in the comment section. And the amount of women that actually posted their pictures for him, what are you doing? What are you doing? Just for him to comment and say, no, you're wearing filters. No, you don't look that great. Ew, What are you doing? Why are you auditioning? Why are you putting yourself in a situation like that? What are you doing? Like, y'all need to wake up. Like, you knew that was the whole point of the video. Trying to humble you. What are you doing?
Women be so quick to call men squares when they don't realize that most homes are built on square foundations. I don't know, sis. You might want to go get you a little square.
There's some kind of fetish with street dudes because we mistake them as being more masculine. I really wish that women would stop putting street dudes on a pedestal. And I mean, you see how Glorilla's song, she was talking about the type of dude that she wanted, and that's cool because she's selling you an illusion. And don't get me wrong, I love that song. I like Glorilla. But she's romanticizing and sexualizing the type of guy that you keep saying that you don't want. If we actually held ourselves accountable for the type of men that we chose, I don't think we would keep romanticizing men that are in survival mode. I've actually never dated a street guy that was very protective. It's a complete myth that they're more masculine and more protective, and they're actually more combative, and they lack a lot of emotional maturity because they're in survival mode. They're not trying to love you. I don't care how many black movies that they create where the love is so toxic, and then for some reason, especially in the black community, we romanticize these toxic relationships, and then we romanticize these guys and say that we want this Russell Wilson, Sierra type of love, but we're never gonna get there if we keep talking about we want a hood dude. Especially if you're not a hood chick, they see you as naive and gullible. Don't let the hype fool you where they're like, oh, you're wifey material because you speak a certain way and dress a certain way. The only difference is that hood chicks know exactly what type of time a street dude is on. There is nothing that you'll understand about a person that can analyze, observe you, and know how to get what they want from you, because where they're from, there's less resources. Their survival mode makes you navigate differently through life. And I know this because I've experienced this. If you don't come from struggle, the way you view the world in relationships are just different. So if you're from the suburbs and people, and you speak a certain way, you have a certain disposition and demeanor, trust me, you do not align with no street dude, and they see you as silly and naive.
Dude in the comments said when she has dated, been with a hood street guy, leave her alone, fellas. Let her save herself. Somebody else says, nobody wants a Russell Wilson. They want futures, unfortunately.
This is really scary. It really comes to a point that men do not stop being freaky over corny, horny corn dogs. My coworker is like almost 50. She's like 48, 49. And she was telling me she met this guy. He was real nice. She thought like maybe they could be compatible. They were just like dating or talking or whatever, right? And she sent him some nice pictures of herself because I read the text messages. And she was like, tell me if I'm tripping. I'm like, all right, what's up? So they're having a really pleasant conversation. She sent some really nice pictures of her with no makeup, with makeup, like different styles of her hair. So he could see like she can switch it up, versatile, whatever, right? And he's like, you have really pretty pictures. You're a really pretty woman. I love that you can switch the style up. I wonder if that monkey is fat. She didn't say nothing sexy. She didn't say nothing sexy. All her pictures was from the neck and above. And this freaky ass 51-year-old man gonna say, I wonder if that monkey is fat. Does it ever stop? What is wrong with y'all? Y'all need help. I am sick of you over freaky ass, nasty, hypersexual men. Like, and then he got the nerve because she was like, first of all, I'm not looking for that. I'm looking for somebody that want to have a relationship, settle down, this and that, third. He said, I'm waiting for my son to graduate and then I'll be ready to date. You want a nurse by that time. You want a caretaker by that time. You want somebody to provide for you in a health way. These are out there fine. It does not change. Like, it does not change. And then when she kind of turned up on him, he gonna say, you need to calm down and be a lady. Be a lady? You just asked to see if my monkey was fat. You hoes are sick. I'm scared of y'all. I'm scared of y'all. You don't know if... you don't want to know. You don't know if she's clean, she got tested. You don't know nothing. You just want to know if the is fat.
I mean, once again, like, you guys seem to maybe not get yourself in a situation, but you keep yourself in a situation. Does that make sense? You didn't, after he said that to you, you did not have to stay in that situation. Not you specifically, but your friend. You didn't have to stay in that situation. A lot of us find ourselves in situations that are like, whoa, how did I get here? But then it's your fault if you keep yourself in that situation. It's not like you were sitting in front of him. After he said that, after he texted that, block. That's it. End of story. Number one. Number two, we don't know what kind of pictures she actually sent him. You do. But what you think is seductive versus what a man perceives as seductive are two different things. But regardless, even if I give you the benefit of the doubt, Why is she still talking to the dude? Is she trying to get the last word? The last word would have been a block.
Did you know that 97% of men believe that they're above average communicators and drivers? I mean, it's statistically incorrect, but it's still adorable.
Video about the guy from Atlanta. He owns a very popular hair company in Atlanta, and he said I had too much freedom and that he was going to try to get me pregnant. So all the red flags were there, and I still met up with him after that. So he had a layover in Vegas. It was like a 4-hour layover. So he called me and was like, hey, like, pull up. Let's go eat. Oh, I know. I got dressed and I went to go pick him up at the airport. And the follow-up story doesn't disappoint because he proceeded to tell me, he's like, look, athletes and the kind of guys that you're around when you travel, because he knows, like, I have friends, I have family, they hang out, they party, they travel with athletes and some high-profile people. So he proceeded to tell me, like, those men, like, if you look at their wives are basic. Their wives don't look like you. He said, I think Tom Brady was the only athlete that married a model. He said, these men are marrying average women because having a baddie as a wife is a headache. I know you guys can't tell right now because my hair's not done, but I'm a baddie. So he was proceeding to tell me, like, those men aren't going to want you because you look like this, because you're exotic. He said, look at LeBron's wife, look at Steph's wife, they're all basic. I was just side-eyeing him the whole time. But his logic was, you better settle down with somebody like me because those guys aren't going to want to marry you. They're not going to want to, like, put a ring on it because having a baddie as a wife is a headache. I was side-eyeing him, but also, like, it's been in my head since he told me that. These men are marrying, like, average women and cheating on them with the baddies because having a baddie as a wife is a headache. That was his logic. That's what he told me. And is this a conversation? Is this in the male group chat that women don't know about? Because I had no idea.
I'm not sure what he's talking about as far as LeBron and Steph's wife, but I'm also not sure why you even went on a date with them after he said all that. Maybe because he has money? I mean, you said he owned some stuff, which indicates that he has money. Y'all be wasting y'all time for money. They say, I give up. Let's just take pictures and look cute. In all seriousness, for you, and I think for most people, you'd probably do better with a breaker bar. Just better leverage, and you can really use that gym baddie strength to pop those lug nuts and get that tire off.
Ladies, if you're screaming that you hate men and then simultaneously want a provider man, I have a very harsh reality check for you. No man's gonna like you, let alone a provider man who wants to ride for his woman, okay? That attitude, that narrative drives me insane. If you genuinely believe that all men are trash and all men are liars, cheaters, scammers, whatever, insert adjective there, that's exactly what you're gonna attract. That is exactly what you're gonna attract. I do not hang out with women who scream that narrative. All men suck, men are trash. Get away from me. Maybe in your reality, sure, but in my reality, there are a lot of wonderful men in this world, okay? So please, I beg of you, sisters, get out of that mentality, especially if you want a nice guy. Why would you sit there and be like, all men suck, all men are trash, and then think that you're gonna attract a nice man, okay? You're not gonna attract any man with that attitude, let alone a provider, okay? Jesus. I say this with peace and love, of course, okay?
Why these women continuously want to call these men broke when y'all the ones who always got y'all hand out? A man can't speak to you in the grocery store unless he finna pay for your groceries. Why? You can't afford your own groceries? A man can't even say good afternoon or good morning to you unless he finna take you to Chanel. Yet you go out on a first date with this man and you want to order 3 entrees, one to eat there, one to eat when you get home, and one to eat for tomorrow for lunch when you go to work. But when he say, I'm not finna pay for that, what you holler? If you ain't got it, just say that, but you ain't got it. You want these men to take you out on this 5-star restaurant on your first date, and he don't even know if you worth a McDonald's Happy Meal king size. You barely got your life together. If every time he talk to you, can you pay my phone bill? Can you pay my light bill? Can you put some groceries in the house? How you gonna decent your men when you steady on them? When you still talking about them? When you still want and need their money? You need all this from a man. Seem like a man should be in a circle, and y'all should be holding hands in a circle around him singing Kumbaya.
I'm literally being stood up right now. I don't even want to talk about this because, quite frankly, it's humbling and embarrassing. But if nobody talks about this kind of stuff, then how are we all supposed to know that we're not alone? This guy I matched with on Hinge and only agreed to go out with him because we went to the same high school in Florida and we now live in the same town in Oregon, coincidentally. And I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. Like, yeah, I'll go out with you. We made plans last night. He bailed because his dog hurt its paw, which, okay, maybe that's true, whatever. I was like, yeah, no worries. And he asked if we could hang out tonight instead. And I said yes. And he said, do you want to get dinner? Because I told him I'm not drinking during the week. And he chose a very fancy sushi restaurant. And I said, yeah, great, cool, see you tomorrow. Today rolls around and I said, hey, it's 7 p.m. too late. I've just had a really busy day. I want to get a couple things done after work. And he comes back with a response of like, oh, I'm actually really exhausted. Do you want to just pick another day? And then I said, yeah, if you're too tired, like, no worries. And he's not responding. And now it's 30 minutes to 7 p.m. I don't even care if he responds. I will not respond. I'm sure they're so predictable. I'll probably get some text, oh my god, I laid down after work and I passed out. Shut the fuck up. I'm so done. What are we doing wrong as women in this society when we're either raising these boys to behave the way that they do and do not... Let me be so clear when I will not refer to a boy as a man until I see one. And that's why I say the word boy all the time, just so we're clear on that. And two, what are we doing wrong as young women that aren't raising boys, but that are dating them and letting them continuously act the way that they do and just be like so down here at the very bare minimum that they continue to behave that way? Why are we letting them get away with this? Why are we putting up with this? I, for one, am no longer putting up with it. I am entering my high maintenance Asfra, and I'm doing so unapologetically. I don't care. It's just like, it's comical to me, really. If you are a bare minimum, you don't go out of your way, you're flaky, just any of those things, like, don't even breathe in the same room as me. I don't care. I'm gonna say it loud and proud because what the actual this is why I'm staying away from men. I'm swearing them off. They're only gonna get in my way. They're all done. They're all dead to me. Excuse me, boys.
Y'all still think that y'all are doing men favors. Just stay home and eat a cookie. He said he wasn't coming out there. He didn't say explicitly, I'm not coming out there, but he said, do you want to pick another day? Why would he come when he said pick another day? He said he did not feel good. You're not getting stood up. You came out there. Actually, you said you were in Ross. So you just pulled over in the parking lot, still upset, got on here to complain, and wanted your feelings validated. I'm here to validate your feelings. I know it sucks that he decided he'd want to come. I mean, first of all, you decided to cancel at 7 and say, can we move it? That man might have had other things to do. So y'all would have had to pick another day if he would have said, well, I can't really do 7 because I had a prior engagement, but maybe we can do it another day. It would have ended up the same way. So actually, in all actuality, he canceled only once. I know people are saying this second time he flaked. No, this is the first time. Because you said, well, I can't really do whatever time. Can we move it to 7? Not really feeling all that well. You want to pick another day? I'm exhausted. Whatever it is. Can you pick another day?
As someone who did not want to get married,
for the longest time, I completely understand why people don't want to get married. In fact, I would tell you not to get married. But if you do get married, make sure it's a good marriage, because a good marriage is such a flex. Like, it's literally, it makes life so much easier. It's so much more peaceful. It's wonderful, especially if you're married to an adult, because apparently that needs to be said. I go to work, I work night shifts, I work in healthcare, so I don't get to sleep at night by my own doing, on my own choice, right? But my husband is a very considerate man. He will have food for me for when I wake up, because somebody forgets to eat. He packs my lunches for work because he just wants me to eat. Like, he genuinely thinks about me in the smallest things. Today, he brought me Dairy Queen because I've been craving it for the last few days because somebody's got a problem again. But, you know, it's small things like that that makes my life easier. I don't gotta worry about weird sounds that my car's making. I don't gotta worry about the house being a mess. I don't gotta worry about a lot of stuff, right? And at the same time, I really hope I give him the same peace, because I also pull my own weight. And that partnership makes life easier because we're living the life together, you know? Like, we live together. We live in the same area. So it's like, we both clean, so I'm cleaning half as much. We both do laundry. I'm doing half as much laundry than I usually would. We both gotta eat. I still don't cook because I don't like to cook. But I'm working on it, okay? Get off my back. But, like, I love my man. I will always be my man, girl, because he acts right. I am lucky enough to be married to an adult who cares about his wife. And you can never tell me that it's not worth it. As much as I've seen all the stats on marriage, I was the first one telling people how marriage does nothing for women. There's absolutely no reason why a woman should get married, except for if you want it. Like, find somebody that makes you want it. That's it. That's all. Do not be settling for nothing. Do not lower your standards for anything. Do not change what you want just so you can get married. And absolutely do not settle. That's it. That's all. Have a good day. Mwah.
So I hope that you have a happy and successful marriage. But my thing is, this is what a lot of women do. They go down the laundry list of things that the man does for them. And if it were reversed and the man were saying that a woman does that, then it would be a problem. It would be a huge problem. Okay, but what did he bring to the table? You do that for him? What? Why do you do that? Why'd I make his lunch? Why'd I make his life easier? Well, I pull my weight. How exactly? How are you pulling your weight exactly? Because once again, if a man were to be getting all of this from his wife, then all of a sudden it's a problem. I want a divorce. I'm not happy.
What the f is up with men talking about us like we're cars? Salvage title, 250,000 miles. Like, bro, I'm not a car. I'm a human being. I'm a woman. Like, the car metaphor just makes me sad. It really makes me sad.
A dude said, be careful, men. This is a used car salesman. They are known for lying and trying to trick you into buying a used car at a discount, knowing full well the alarm system doesn't work and anyone can steal it.
Everyone keeps asking me what it's like to date when I live with my mom. Guys, it's the same. I'm not running a brothel over here. I go on a date, I go to drinks, I go to dinner, I come home. Should things escalate, I sleep at theirs. Bada bing, bada boom.
An interesting comment by GC Boy says, you get judged worse if you're a man who lives at home. Notice how she said we can stay at his place, which means she's not dating guys who live with their parents. But they keep on saying that men do it. Great point. Men be at the house with their mom and their dad in their mom's basement. They love to say that. Looks like that's where you are.
It's time to bring back blind dates. It's time. There's a bunch of us that are 35 that are single. I cannot keep dating my exes. I don't want to date someone that my mom wants to set me up from DR. I want to date a complete stranger. I know that there are people out there that you're friends with that you see as a brother and that gives you the ick. That might be my soulmate. Set me up. Damn.
With the way a lot of these women think about men, I don't think it's going to work.
I am a petite Asian woman and I am a petite Asian woman and I am ovulating. Who wants me? Who wants me? Who wants me?
Some of you all are dragging this whole black men speaking to you at the grocery store thing. Excuse my attire, I just got back from working out. Now, before I get into what I'm gonna say, which is very unpopular, let me say this. You do not have to speak to anyone if you do not want to. That is your choice as a human being. He came on and asked a question, and there were some women in the comments that said, I just don't feel like it. I don't want to be bothered. I'm just minding my business. You know, I feel this type of way. Understandable. And that's it. But now you all are dragging it to where now you're saying, well, why would a black man speak to me at a grocery store? Why don't black men? And it's becoming an issue with black men. First of all, for a lot of you all, this is our elder. This is a Gen X. Some people come from an era or a generation, or even some people come from certain parts of the world, like the South, where people are just hospitable, where people just speak to one another, especially the black community. There used to be a time where we acknowledged each other. How you doing, brother? How you doing, sister? Angie Stone used to have a song, Black Brother, you know, strong brother. We used to just acknowledge each other because we shared a common struggle. That man said one word, 2 syllables, hello, and we are losing our minds. You can literally say hello to someone and keep it pushing. It takes you no energy to say hello. Literally keep it pushing. Like you can physically push your cart, say hello, and keep going. Instead, you're making this, oh, black women are tired. That man asked a simple question. Not every man is hitting on you, ladies. I don't believe a man is hitting on me until a man tells me I'm hitting on you, I'm interested, I like shit, and I want shit. Other than that, I'm just gonna say hello. Then it's like, oh, well, he has to buy your groceries. Maybe I would have said hello. Okay, so is it a matter of you not wanting to speak, or you're not wanting to speak unless somebody buys you something? Buy your own groceries. I don't need anybody to buy my groceries for me to say hello to them. I can buy my own groceries. Because trust me, if a man buys your groceries, he's gonna be expecting more than a hello. Again, if you don't want to speak, cool. But stop making this a gender war. Stop making this, oh, black men, oh, how dare you? The man's video was 5 seconds long. He just asked a question, answer it, and keep it pushing. But making entire think pieces on this and doing all this, y'all are doing too much. The man said hello. He didn't say, hey, little mama, how you doing? Let me whisper in your ear. We'll never grow as a people if we keep tearing each other down for the littlest things.
A woman in the comments said, I'm fine with anybody speaking to me anywhere. A hello doesn't cost me anything. That's what I keep on saying. Why would I pay $100? Why would I pay for your groceries just to say hi? Just to acknowledge your existence and your presence? Y'all keep on talking about the male loneliness epidemic. A man goes out and says hello. You don't say or acknowledge his presence back. And he says, why are you guys doing that? I don't get that. And then you shame him and say, we don't owe you a hello. Pay for my ice cream. Pay for my groceries. Why? I just said hello. Like, once again, you're not the president of the United States. Like, you're not a celebrity. You're not anybody. And once again, even if you were, I'm not trying to take any of your time. I just said hello. How you doing? That's it. Stop being weird about it. You guys need to be. They talk about men need to start it in prison and work their way out. I think I heard that on a podcast with women one time. Maybe you guys should consider doing the same.
I really didn't plan on speaking so soon on here, but I just heard what is probably the worst marriage advice I have ever heard in my entire life. And I'm not married yet, but I'm pretty sure this is really horrible advice. So it's this woman who's married, and she's talking about how she's not genuinely attracted to her husband and how she has to wear a blindfold to sleep next to her husband so she can mentally prepare herself to roll over and look at her husband when she wakes up in the morning. This is the man that she chose to spend the rest of her life with, that she's speaking about like this. And then she goes on to advise other women to do the same, to marry men that we're not genuinely attracted to forget about the men that we are attracted to and just focus on the ones that we're not attracted to. That does not make any sense to me whatsoever as a woman, because what is the point of marrying a man if you're not genuinely attracted to him? Like, for me personally, I need to be genuinely attracted to my husband because I want to do him on a regular basis. If his libido is up to par, you know, I want to do my husband multiple times a day. if not at least once a day, because I think he's just the hottest thing walking the face of this earth. Like, in order for that to happen, I need to be genuinely attracted to my husband. So I don't understand this mindset of marrying a man that I'm not genuinely attracted to. That is asinine to me. And furthermore, who is giving these women like who think like this a platform? Because she had a decent little platform. Who is listening to these women, and why are y'all listening to them? Because they're just gonna keep you miserable and single, or stuck. Listening to them because they don't give good advice. Clearly, she doesn't give good advice if she can't make a good decision about what man to marry. Like, she married a man that she's not attracted to. That's not the signs of a woman that makes good decisions. And women that don't make good decisions, they can't give good advice. I mean, come on, what is going on in the world today? I don't understand. I don't understand the logic.
A woman in the comments said all men cheat anyway. Statistically, that's not true. But she said all men cheat anyway. It's better than pay all the bills. So basically what Shearer 7 was saying. A lot of other nonsense. I'm going to allow him to cheat just to get my bills paid. Because I'm lazy and I don't want to work.